Hi, this is the Big Boys with me, Paul, aka Trap4pual, and
HzDani.
today we will be interviewing Dr. Lowery. In fact, we will be asking Dr. Lowery weekly questions for inspiration and growth opportunities.
Mr. Larry, how's your day been going so far?
Oh, day's been going good. Just busy, lots of meetings, but going well.
Yeah. So our another question. What's your favorite karaoke song?
Favorite karaoke song? So you're assuming that I sing, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I do enjoy singing. I was in choir growing up. I would say I really enjoy anything by Rascal Flatts, or I will always do a Backstreet Boys song.
I don't know none of that.
Okay.
So, what motivates you?
I think two things motivate me. I think the first thing that motivates me is a desire to win. I'm super competitive, so I want to be the best at everything I do. And I kind of almost on the flip side of that have like a fear of failure. But I also just have a desire to, at the end of my life, for God to tell me, well done, good and faithful servant. You used all the gifts that I gave you. So I hope one day that I am told that.
Yeah. Okay. So next, what's the big message of the week, and what will you be looking for this week?
Sure. I think looking up over the next week and a half, actually, the first quarter is about to end. So we'll be looking at grades and who we're going to be pulling for Saturday school and interventions and stuff like that a little more regularly. Really working on attendance is a big deal right now, making sure that everybody's here and continuing to work hard in class.
Okay, so this question is optional if you do want to answer it. Do you want to add anything else to the topics that we just
talked about? I don't think there's anything else to add to these. I think you got some follow-up questions, and let's knock those out.
Okay, so how was the field trip? I know you had a field trip.
Oh, man, I think the field trip was great. I would encourage you to maybe ask some of the students. One of my big philosophies of education is that you've got to experience learning. Learning isn't just about memorizing information. But when I tell you guys, hey, you can go to college, I think taking you to a university and showing you what a university looks like is very important. I think that, a lot of times we tell you guys, hey, after high school, you should go to college. Well, sometimes kids see that as, oh, that's more studying. It's expensive. It's a long way off. I can't do that, when in reality, there's a lot of good growth and fun that's in college. So that's why I think it's important for you guys to see football games and basketball games and get to do the tailgates. And in this case, get to see the Corps of Cadets. There's a whole lot more to college. And I want you to see that there's kids in college that look just like you and come from backgrounds just like you. And that if you want college, you've just got to go get it. And now you've seen that it is possible.
Yeah, everything's possible when you put your mind to it.
That's right. I agree.
Okay, Paul, you can keep asking.
What was your favorite meal growing up?
Oh, dude. So growing up, probably my favorite meal was when my mom would make macaroni and cheese, and she would do a pot roast on Sunday, and then we would have that roast. So I had three boys, so it was you had to eat a lot. So she'd make the pot roast, and then the next day she would make barbecue sandwiches out of it with macaroni and cheese. And then sometimes she would cut up hot dogs and put them in the macaroni and cheese. So I would say that was probably some of my favorite meals growing up.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it was good.
So how many cities have you lived in your whole life?
How many cities? I lived in Big Spring, Midland, Lubbock, Dallas, and Frisco. So 5.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Talk more about the restroom being shut down during class for the boys.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, our young men here keep following TikTok trends and feel like it's appropriate to vandalize things. And unfortunately, there's no cameras in the restrooms for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And so, we can't get kids to let us know who's doing it and cannot figure out who it is. So we're just going to shut that down until we feel like we can behave a little bit more appropriately in the restrooms.
Yeah, I think. This one. Ask that one.
What was your first car in your whole life?
Oh, my first car. So my first car was a 1994 Honda Accord. And what's really was fun about it is, first off, my mom worked very hard to make sure that I could get a car. I think we paid $3,000 for this 1994 Honda Accord. So it was about 10 years old. And I remember when I was in high school, she actually bought it from one of her friends, and that friend of hers just happened to be like real pretty. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm driving a car that this little pretty girl used to drive that was older than me. So for me, that was kind of a big deal. And it still kind of smelled like a girl whenever my mom bought it. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's Haley. So that little high school crush there, I guess.
So what is your morning routine?
My morning routine. So I tell everybody, and you'll hear this, I think it's important to get 30 minutes of workout a day. So I think it's very important to get sleep, but it's also important to get 30 minutes of workout a day, whether that's a walk or, working out in PE or working out in athletics. 30 minutes a day goes a long way. So every morning I typically get up. I go get a workout in. This morning I did some weights, and then I did a spin class. Some days I'll go for a run. Then I come in, shower, and get on the road. I don't really eat a lot of breakfast. Typically, I don't eat until somewhere around 10 or 11 o'clock. And I'll have a protein bar or something at that point, and then lunch at 12ish or whatever opportunity I get to eat.
Oh well, thank you for your time.
Hey, thanks guys. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks to have you here.
Yeah, it's cool, man. This is neat. This is neat because y'all can edit out things, right?
Yeah, we can edit out where we messed up.